Welcome to KBM Sports Talks. I'm Kevin, and today we got, should Notre Dame join the Big Ten? Well, we're going to discuss that this whole video, you guys. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 150. We're at 146, you guys. Hit that subscribe button. Join the KBM Sports Talk family, and hit that like button, you guys. Let's get into the video. As we all know, there's been a lot of conference realignment the last year, 2 years. We had the SEC go first. The SEC went first with adding Texas and Oklahoma by 2024. And then this past week, we had USC and UCLA join the Big Ten. They will be joining just like Texas and Oklahoma for the SEC as soon as 2024. So, are we in a thing of seeing two mega conferences going on? They're going to happen? Well, I don't think that's going to happen. But a team that does have a lot of power in this, that a lot of people are discussing right now, is Notre Dame. They are independent. They could go to the ACC, they could go to the Big Ten, or they could stay independent. Those are their three options. I don't see them going to the SEC. I do not see that happening. It's too much travel, too much money, I think, that they want to spend. Notre Dame, they do have some television contracts that do weigh in on some of the decisions that they want to make. But it is Notre Dame, so those television contracts really don't mean anything for them because they can do whatever they really want. But the question is, everyone's asking, why does Notre Dame hold all this power? Well, you guys, because Notre Dame is Notre Dame. I mean, that may sound weird and this and that, but no, Notre Dame's name, let alone, generates so much money and so much media attention, it's not even funny. They hold so much power because of the media that they bring in, the money that they bring in, the attention, that every single aspect of Notre Dame football, they get attention. Even the little fine details. Everyone knows what Notre Dame, everyone knows the gold, shiny gold helmets. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows who that is. Everyone knows the Fighting Irish. They may not have the best year or this and that, but they still generate so much money. Their contract, they have a contract with NBC that runs till 2025. And they get $15 million a year. That is a lot of money they get a year. $15 million they get a year from NBC. That's amazing. And there's some other stuff that I will go back to when we get deeper in the video about the NBC contract and what NBC wants. So I'll get back to that. But we just got to talk about the contracts that Notre Dame has right now. Because Notre Dame also has a contract with ESPN and ACC. They have the contract with the ACC to play 5 ACC teams every single year. And that goes till 2036. In this deal, though, in the language of it, it says if Notre Dame were to join a conference, it is obligated to join the ACC. Obligated. Doesn't mean they are forced to join it. They're obligated. So that means that they couldn't just be like, okay, we're cutting that contract. We're cutting it because we want to go to the Big Ten. But I don't think Notre Dame is going to do something like that. I just think that's not Notre Dame's character to do that. To just cut it. But I do think Notre Dame won't join the ACC. I think that is out of the picture because there's too much going on. But the ACC needs Notre Dame to join it to stand a chance against the Big Ten and the SEC. Because they'll have Clemson, Miami, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame in there now. Boston College, Syracuse. They'll have those names. It's still not going to be enough, I don't think, to compete against the Big Ten and the SEC for numbers-wise. Yes, Notre Dame's going to bring in a lot of numbers, but I don't think it will generate as much media attention, Notre Dame, of going to the ACC rather than the Big Ten. And I really don't see Notre Dame joining because Clemson, Miami, and others are on their way out, and that would definitely mean Notre Dame is not going to the ACC because it's already been rumored that Clemson, Miami, and I believe Virginia have put in their request to join the SEC. I can see Miami and Clemson both joining the SEC right there. I could see that happening. And I can also see North Carolina joining the SEC. But that will be a whole another video, you guys. So you guys got to keep your eye out for that. It will be coming out soon. What I think is going to happen with the conferences. But yeah, just keep your eye out for that. But why Notre Dame will be going to the Big Ten? Notre Dame has a lot of rivalries, you guys. They have a lot. They have Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue. And now USC is joining the Big Ten. So that's another one. 4 teams right there that are historical great rivalries in college football Notre Dame has in the Big Ten. 4. So wouldn't that mean, hey, why don't you go there? And the way Michigan's been playing lately, USC, Lincoln Riley has been recruiting and generating so much publicity for USC. That's 2 games right there for Notre Dame that will generate so much money, media, attention, so much right there. Yes, I know USC and Notre Dame play every single year. I do know that. But just think about it, you guys. Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, USC going up against Notre Dame every single year. And I'm just saying those are the rivalries in the Big Ten. Then you throw in Ohio State. Ohio State plays Notre Dame the next 2 years. They play at home and away, both teams. So, what that means for Notre Dame, why don't Notre Dame make that a common thing every single year? Well, I think that is a smart idea because the money that's going to run of you is money that's going to generate you. We'll go back to this video. Maybe they'll join this summer. Maybe they'll just say they're going to join. But they play Ohio State first game of the year, Notre Dame. So that is something that I'm going to be looking to see what the numbers are for that game and how many viewers it's got, how like the watch duration, this and that. Because just think about how much that game is already getting hyped. It's going to be one of the best games of the year, people are saying. Marcus Freeman, new head coach at Notre Dame, going up against Ohio State, CJ Stroud, this and that. That's so much publicity. Now you get that. Notre Dame will get that every single year when they play the Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, USC, UCLA, Penn State, you guys, too. And you got Ohio State, too. Nebraska. All these teams Notre Dame will be playing year in and year out will generate so much media for them. It's a no-brainer for Notre Dame to do this. And it's a lot less traveling. And because their schedule is set in the Midwest. I think that's a smarter move for Notre Dame to go there just because of the media it's going to bring and the attention it's going to bring. And 2, it gives them, if they win a good amount of those games, they're going to get into the playoff. Yes, I know they can get into the playoff independently, but it's getting harder and harder every single year because of the fact that SEC is big now. Big Ten is getting big now. Like, you're seeing all these other conferences, and especially the ACC, crumble, which Notre Dame has a contract with. Crumbling right now. If Clemson's leaving. If Miami leaves. If someone leaves in the ACC, they're going to crumble. No matter who it is, I think. But then we got to go back to the NBC conversation I was talking about earlier. NBC, you guys, wants a Big Ten game as part of the package. Their new media rights package. They want a Big Ten game. So that is a big thing for Notre Dame because NBC is Notre Dame's big sponsor. It's their own channel. Notre Dame has their own channel for their football games. And NBC. And NBC wants a Big Ten game. So Notre Dame. And yes, I know that they got Ohio State, but I believe that is on ABC, not NBC. So Notre Dame, they're getting poked by NBC being like, hey, we want to go to the Big Ten. We can do this. We can get all this. We'll give you more money. Like, da-da-da. So say Notre Dame goes, okay, we'll join in 2025 when their contract's up with NBC, and then they get a brand new contract. So then they'll be getting a lot more money. They could be like, okay, Notre Dame could be like, okay, we got $15 million a year when we were independent, but now we're in the Big Ten, and you got what you wanted. You wanted this, and now you're going to be getting more money. So we want $30 million, $50 million a year. Something like that. They're going to ask for a crazy number just because of the fact that how much money it's going to generate from them joining the Big Ten. And what the Big Ten can also do to attract Notre Dame more is I think they're going to turn down Oregon and Washington. But a team that I can see them going to get or try to get into the Big Ten is Stanford. Something that most people aren't talking about. Stanford is one of Notre Dame's biggest rivalries. They play them every single year just like USC. So what does that mean? If I'm Big Ten, I'm going after Stanford saying, hey, come join us. We're going to try to help us get Notre Dame into the Big Ten. Because if Notre Dame joins the Big Ten, that's 17 teams. You want to get even numbers, so you're going to have to go get an 18th team. Stanford may be that 18th team. Most people aren't talking about that. Stanford would be amazing because that would mean Notre Dame would have Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, USC, and Stanford as rivals in the Big Ten. That is 5 teams right there that Notre Dame would play year in and year out. That is a rivalry. That's awesome. That's so much money generated for Notre Dame because of the publicity that they can get from that. And then you also have to throw in, you guys think about Ohio State is always going to be a great game against Notre Dame. Penn State is always going to be a great game. All those matchups for Notre Dame, it's just a no-brainer for me to think that Notre Dame should join the Big Ten. I really think so. But just let me know in the comments, you guys, what you guys think. Do you guys think that Notre Dame should join the Big Ten? And if not, do you think they should stay independent or go to the ACC? What do you think is going to happen with Notre Dame? That is the question right now that everyone's asking, and they've been asking this for a couple years now. I think Big Ten is the best option. I think Notre Dame is going to go to the Big Ten. I think that is the best option for themselves and for college football because it will give college football a lot more media to talk about when Notre Dame plays against these teams. But hit that subscribe button, you guys. Join the KBN Sports Talk family. Hit that like button. And thank you guys so much for watching. And just comment down below what you guys are thinking. Thank you for watching. And until next time, see ya.